I see clearly now. So I wanted to jump on here. It's been some time since I've done the Akashic Soul Pro app collective reading on this grand moment of now. Whenever you're watching this, it's perfect. I'll share the details of what came up on the automatic readout just now, the supercomputer of the Akash, of the ether and plasma dancing together as light. And then we'll do an activation for this now moment. And so the consciousness that wanted to speak today for this collective reading is ego. So our ego consciousness, where we've perfected our persona, our personality, we've mastered our persona and personality, we've bought into all sorts of imprints and indoctrinations and codings that were told to us. And we took all those on this, and we've made our way, found our balance, found our way to exist as that persona. This mastery of the solar plexus, of this third energy gateway, of the mental body configure, everywhere we've perceived and judged and taken on definitions, has created a masterful blueprint of your personality, the way others see you, and the way you've kind of come into balance with this existence, with the current conditioning and social conditioning, whatever has been coming down the tube through timeline's existence has created personalities, different personalities. You may get around different people and have a different personality. You may, you may fold in the personality and start to realize that you're much more of pure consciousness than a personality. You may drop into personalities that are needed, like a cast and a character and a set of casts. In a cast of characters. You may try on these different characters in these mental body outfits. And this is the consciousness that wants to be looked at. And the consciousness of your personality, of your mastered mental body configuration, how you show up. A lot of times in this now moment, we're being asked to dissolve all the identity, all the that we've projected out as well as been projected onto us of how we're supposed to be, and our best self, and the self that doesn't have a shadow. So when ego consciousness comes up on the collective reading, this is a time for us to really, it's not about them, it's about our ego. And as we transfigure and transmute and rise out of, the solution was what wanted to be cleansed was anger. As we cleanse the anger out of the mental body configuration, out of the subtle bodies of implosion of energy that is bound to cell receptors, as we let all that go and dissolve these identities, we can let go of belief systems, we can let go of patterning. There's so much we can do as we super consciously take this baton of today's activation. So the ego and who's connected is parent substitute. So parent substitute feels like the government, where you've allowed the parent substitute, to go ahead and share with you or give you conditions and ways, because you didn't know how to do that for yourself. So you let something else outside of you govern you. When you arrive beyond the ego, when you start to realize you are a soul embodied, a full light body packet, you'll notice that the governing meridian that goes from your perineum over the top of your head to your upper lip or upper roof palate, you'll notice that governing meridian wants to come back online, and you want to embody and you want to break out of any kind of restrictions and step into your creatorship. So if there's anger that's holding you back at the perineum and up your back, feeling like you've been, hurt or betrayed or led down the wrong trail, and that's also on here, because you don't like the way you're being controlled, then you have to dissolve and let go of all the bindings and commitments and arrangements that you've made consciously, unconsciously, known and unknowingly, and claim your sovereignty and allow for that full movement of the governing energy to rise back over your being and connect the central meridian with the governing meridian by connecting the tip of your tongue to the roof of your mouth. So go ahead and do that. Just inhale down the front of your body. Exhale up the back of your body and over the top of the head. Inhale down. Exhale up and around. And one more time. Inhale down. Exhale. We're going to dissolve everything that's binding or keeping you from moving fully up your central channel, up the back and over the top of the head. And so now we're super flowing. We're connected again. And we're not just moving from our ego. We're moving from something greater. We're moving from the full embodiment of our soul's existence. And so anywhere and everywhere that you've, again, taken on it could be a parent substitute, a step parent. There's been a lot of divorces, right? So why do we have so many divorces? Because again, you put everything, all your eggs in the basket outside of yourself and not inside of yourself. You possibly didn't love yourself as much as you wanted that lover to love you, right? You wanted that lover and that partner and that marriage partner to complete you, when really you were to complete you. You needed to rise up the governing meridian and claim this existence and claim your androgyny, your feminine and masculine energies weaving up the spine. So you've got these front and back governing and central meridians, but you've also got these side to side Ida and Bangala feminine and masculine channels weaving up energy up the spine. And so as those androgynous codes come back online for you, marriage of self is where we're at. And so I marry myself, I union myself, I yoke myself. And in the beloved that is in front of me will show me and will show me the love that I've invested in myself. So that type of marriage is on the rise, of marriage to self. And the one that's on the collapse is marriage to something outside of ourselves that you thought was gonna complete you. Yes, there's a marriage of all the existence. You can yoke and union with space. But to think that the projection, the reflection within the other was going to do it for you or fix it for you, when it was just reflecting back to you. So the marriage has to come within, the government has to come up from within, the lover has to come up from within, and then all that surrounds me will be what's inside of me. All that surrounds me will be what I have put in to the projector, into this holographic existence projecting plasma. And so the ego might have a difficult time with this. The ego might say, well, no, you need that. You need to be supported by that other. You need, it to take care of you and do X, Y, and Z. Well, when you have been limited into just the mental body configuration of the persona and the personality, you were separate. You were a separate individual. You were not one with all of existence. So there's going to be a limit there to be working only out of the third gateway, the solar plexus, the ego gateway. If we're just working out of that power struggle gateway, then we're up and we're down. The other is going to make us happy or not happy. We're affected and triggered by what's going on outside of us, because we're dependent on it giving us our happiness or giving us the it, when actually you are creating all of this. Your words and your projection and your feeling of vibration to match that word and projection is what is creating. And so you can even see the collective of the part of the collective, the whole of the collective that is you, rising and celebrating. You can close your eyes and witness the most ascended state of the existence of all beings and see all beings eternally free and happy. You can see that. And by you seeing that and recognizing that this is going beyond the ego into our superconscious state of existence that allows for everything to work out for everyone. Everyone comes along. It's everybody wins. Everybody's, eternally well and whole. And so we lose the identity of an individual persona. So you might find that your personality is wanting to crumble. You're done with holding up all of the points of view that persona had taken on because of a reality that's actually been upside down. Everything that's been light has been dark. Everything that's been left has been right. Up has been down. everything that we've been told has been upside down. So if your personality was based on the reality of something else being created and you're just happen to be here getting to experience it, instead that you created all of this and you're here to experience your creation in each now moment. When that gets flipped upside down, the other identity, it crumbles. Who you thought you were crumbles. So take a breath and celebrate that. Celebrate the witnessing of your own transition in this now moment. Just celebrate the witnessing of the transition of the egoic complex that's been uber complicated and making things complicated because it thought outside of itself was going to solve things. Let's just dissolve all that. And everywhere in the higher dimensions where you have the ability to dissolve all of the etheric imprints throughout existence that could possibly, that you've been pigeonholing and expecting others to be a certain way. All those expected points of view and expected, predetermined, concluded, assumed ways that you feel others are supposed to be, just dissolve all that. Dissolve it all. Let it all go. What if you could just, like little balls of light, what if you could just allow all these little balls of light to dissolve? All of that, everywhere you were locking people into versions of themselves, not allowing them to be their highest ascended state of existence beyond a personality. Everywhere you've been binding and keeping people from being truly able to see their self inside your eyes and love you. And when you hug, you melt. You don't even know where it is or they are or you are. It becomes one. So let the old identity go so that we can embrace this higher state of our existence and truly come into divine union with each other in a whole new way. So dissolve all the egoic imprints, all the mental body configurations. And so each dissolve is just a command inside yourself. Dissolve. And as we exhale, it can dissolve whatever you program it to be. For me, it's like when I inhale, I'm highlighting and then I'm exhaling, dissolving. All these little light particles, they just come crumbling down everywhere I thought them to be. I let that go because beyond that is pure conscious perfection, perfected state existence. And so this, everywhere you've had the something governing outside yourself rather than your own governing vessel, literally moving the plasma particles into position for creation of reality. All of the misidentified understanding around what governing is, and anywhere you've bound yourself knowingly and unknowingly, consciously or unconsciously, we're just going to go ahead and dissolve everything that your super conscious state of existence wants to rise up for yourself and the collective, and we're just going to dissolve all that. Dissolve. And we're dissolving, and then all these little light particles that come down are going to recycle. We're going to use them for best use. We're going to circulate that energy back through the field. We're going to put our hands to our heart, and we're going to feel as if now you are governing yourself with your governing meridian, and you're even beyond all that, you are back into the super intelligent understanding. You're downloading and uploading and integrating your super intelligence infinity. Your infinite super intelligence is now back online. You understand how to be creatrix, how to create this matrix more wise and more lovingly and more playfully. You understand how to govern yourself. You understand. You are it. You isness. You is be. And so any other belief systems that want to just dissolve, unwind, and relief, everywhere you've bought into that you had to believe something, that you couldn't just be ever flowing, loving, living, laughing. Release and clear all that. We're going to clear the upper channel. We're going to activate the thalamus and activate your 8th gate, the thalamic gate. So we're going to ask that the stabilization of your 8th gate at the thalamus. Go ahead and activate your avatar consciousness to understand how to utilize earth, water, fire and wind, ether, star and space begin. We're going to activate your avatar consciousness in this now moment, your super intelligence, super conscious state existence that resides in the field, it resides in the plane of existence. This part of you is not in this form. It is everything and everywhere. And so as you reoccupy your thalamic gate and you stabilize and open and you cosmic flower at the thalamus, you're going to come out of hiding. And the hiding isn't like, oh, look at me. This isn't, this isn't more of the personality. This is you just witnessing and enjoying and flowing. So this is an activation of flow state. And so as we activate flow state, we're also going to close down any old dimensional doorways at 1. And I'm going to take us to gate 1. So look at gate 1 at the perineum. Look at that gate. Inhale, contract and relax the musculature. Let the flower move of the muscles. So the muscles around the root, let it move. And then anywhere and everywhere out the first dimension. So at first dimension of gate 1, at the second dimension. So if I'm at the perineum, okay, and I go and look to the first dimension, I'm going to go out concentric circles, out, to the second dimension, third dimension, fourth dimension, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, seventh dimension, eighth dimension, ninth dimension, 11th dimension. So all 12 dimensions that are coming and exuding from that first gate, we're just going to go ahead and close down any lower dimensional doorways that no longer are serving your sovereignty in this now moment. Your superintelligence is doing all this. I'm just bringing forth the commands for the biocomputer, supercomputer that you be, to fully acknowledge your clarity and your divinity through your ability to command thyself, this technology, into the most high, the most perfected state, the most intelligent existence, the most awareness that you are creating all this with every thought and word and deed. We're going to close down any unnecessary gates that are open. And when I say gates or doorways, I'm just speaking of projections in the reality and the quantum field that you have yourself anchored out into, keeping you from actually experiencing a new reality of your own making that is much high, that is much grander, that has solutions everywhere, that has abundance everywhere, that has all that you would ever have it be. Okay, so we're going to go to the second gateway, right underneath the belly button. At that pinpoint, contract and relax the musculature at the second gate. Pull the belly button in and relax. Pull the belly button in and then relax. And then with that awareness, with your inner eye, your inner viewing station or conscious awareness of subtle field sensations, or just simply watch. I just watch my superintelligence by calling out the numbers. I've let go of a lot of just saying chakra names, more to just number 1, 2, 3, 4. So I go to the second gateway, and then I'm going to close all the dimensional doorways from the second gateway. If I went out it and I went out into dimensions, I'm going to go out at least 12, unless I get a nudge to go further. So we're just going to go, so it's second gateway. Close any unnecessary things that needed to be closed or dissolved at first dimension, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. Good. Stabilize. Recycle that energy. So you're moving all the energy that just got freed up and reclaimed through the toric flower in whatever direction it feels like it needs to, and even beyond the Taurus, for those of you who have moved beyond Taurus, because we're here to find our way out of all of this and then remake it in its pure perfected state existence, which will just be your experiential, because it's already made. You just got to find your way home inside. Let's do the third gateway, because they wanted me to do 1, 2, and 3 to really get at that persona. So come to the above the belly button at the very vortice center point of the third gateway. Contract and relax the musculature around there. Feel it. And then we're going to go ahead and ask your superintelligence to close down anything unnecessarily, any contracts, vows, arrangements, entanglements, agreements, anything that is not of your most high sovereign state existence. At the third gateway, close any doorways that are no longer serving you or humanity. At the first dimension, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th, close. And then we're just going to give a global close to anything that you've spoken into existence that no longer serves your sovereignty and humanity's sovereignty. Close those unnecessary imprints through the field. Bring the fractality from that it's fractaled out, bring it back in. Just exhale, relax and release. We're going to utilize all of that energy. Let's go into breath of fire 20 times, and then we're going to do a teleporting activation for this superconscious state collective read. 20. Pumping the stomach. Inhale. Squeeze gates 1, 2, 3. Sip of air, hold it, suspend it, rise it. We're activating the piezo crystals for teleportation to the highest ascended gateway, to the highest awareness of your avatar self, you living and embodying, rebirthing yourself, new fractality. Exhale, release, and jump. And where we've jumped is the most joyous occasion, the most celebration, the most activation of people remembering that they are the technology that is most important. That your breath work and your daily practice in prayer is the technology's activations and workings. The best thing you can do for self right now is sit down. Sit down and breathe. Sit down and breathe. Feel the most joy, feel the most celebration of the collective. Smile, revel in that. If it takes you visualizing a beautiful scenery or your child's birth or something to elevate your emotion, use that for a moment. Smile and remember that joyous occasion, and then vibrate that joyous occasion into every now moment. So we're going to radiate and integrate the highest vibrational frequency at your heart's gateway, stabilizing and arriving in new fractality. As we have all entered our new trail, for those of you who've been riding the trail, you know, PCT or going on hikes for long hikes, the time is to hike inside the spine. It's time for you to hike up that trail. Rise it up. This is the ascended trail. This gateway is unity marker. You maybe have a call to come here in this now moment. You may have a call to come here in person. Whatever it is, you're on the trail. There's pit stops to make at different beloveds' houses, their temples. There's meetings on the side of the road to be had with a temple of a being. The new trail is open up your spine. Smile, radiate that frequency of joy, the celebration of you arriving to the highest ascended trail within yourself. We come out of hiding, for we are creating this world. We reoccupy this existence, so spread out and imagine that you are space, you are everywhere. You are nothing beyond the personality. You have dissolved and let go, arriving at the new understanding of what you actually are, for you are everything, for you are creating with the light, with the be that you are. And this activation calls for Nashira, the star Nashira, to give us a blessing. Oh, great Nashira, reflection of consciousness, beam down to us this activation of the Most High. Give us the key and clarity of understanding ourselves as a stealth mountain lion as we transverse the mountains within ourselves and we get down and be like that lion. Roar like that lion. The sounds, the codes of light. I see you, I love you, I am you. Thank you for coming forward on this collective Akash reading. May the Most High be reflected, be projected from us. May our plasma projecting technology be realized by self and by all self. May we come back into full power, full leadership, up our own spine to the divine. You guys are amazing. You're rocking it. Share this video and let's activate collectively.